Hey guys, Ian here from ditchtheashtray.com. Just doing another little review video, give you guys some info in regards to some new products that were released into the electronic cigarette market that I think you guys need to know about, because a lot of the naysayers out there, they've got some concerns, and I want to be able to help address some of those today, pretty much right now here on our Ditch the Ashtray YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about USB electronic cigarettes versus regular battery operated electronic cigarettes. Now, to those of you that don't know, USB cigarettes are actually pretty much the same as the regular green smoke or other electronic cigarettes, except that there is a cable. It's actually about 49 inches, about 5 feet long actually, that there we go, that reaches quite a fair distance. So that now what you do is you plug this into your USB port on your computer, which as a little disclaimer, Macintoshes apparently don't work. So if you've got a Mac right now, it's not going to work for you the best apparently. So make sure you got a PC. But the idea is that it's a constant power source. So as opposed to the battery, which I personally have noticed that you definitely can tell the difference when the battery is not at peak life. It's great for mobility. It works for a day or so. I find that as long as I am consistently charging it every night, I never have a problem. But if I don't charge it for a day, I find that sometimes, it's not the best charge, it's not the best smoke, and I don't get the best vapor. So this is where the USB cigarette comes in for me, is that, and working back here in our super secret test facility here, I've always got a computer in front of me. I'm always doing some type of typing. I'm always online doing something. So having this USB smoke right next to me, it seems to be like a better option for having something that's very much more reliable than the battery, and depending on having a full charge. The big difference also I want to touch on is the cost. There's a huge cost difference in between the two of these. Well, not really huge, but with any product, of course, you're going to see some cost differences, and I want to address why you would see that cost difference, because particularly with us at Ditch the Ashtray, we don't recommend the cheap electronic cigarettes. It is a little more expensive to get involved, but you'll be happier with the product, and that's the idea, is you can either buy it cheap twice or expensive once. So with the USB cigarette on Ditch the Ashtray, it's $50. And now $50 gets you your USB cigarette as well as a pack of 5 cartomizers. So now that's enough to get you going for a week or so. And then I find, to be honest, if anybody's kind of on the fence about it, for $50 you can get yourself the system, you can try it, and you can see how it works for you. And then on top of that, there's other applications that I've never even thought of until recently for this USB cigarette, where the mobility one, it seems to be a good option. But what about like new cars? New cars have USB ports directly in the dashboards of their car. Why not use your USB cigarette in the car? There's multiple different ways that you could use it. Kiosks, if you're interested in setting up a little kiosk to demonstrate the product and start selling it yourself. This is a really affordable way for other affiliates and distributors to be able to show, the public the product. With that being said, for a battery pack, it's going to run you about $100, and you get a portable battery system with a charger, a nice little box, comes with a card, all kinds of other stuff. I like both options. Both of them work well. I find that the USB one obviously produces a little bit more vapor, as it's a constant supply of power as opposed to a battery. And you know what, to be honest, at first I got a little concerned with the wire in the front here, but I find that after using it a couple of times, it's actually just like using the green smoke, except now I tend to kind of keep the wire into things every once in a while. And really, in all reality, you get used to it. Just like switching from a tobacco cigarette to the electronic cigarette, you get used to it. It is ceramic-y, it is kind of heavy, it does kind of feel like it's pulling a little bit at the front. But, just like any new product, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. So, here we'll try it now to show you guys with the red label 24 milligram from the new ones from Green Smoke, which I'll touch on here in just a second, but we'll show you a little bit of the difference. And right away I can feel it. Like, it's nice, it's smooth, but strong. So I get my nicotine fix, and you can feel it. As opposed to with the battery, You know, I did just pull this off the charger, so I probably will get a pretty good puff on it. But the thing is 100% battery life only lasts so long before you start dropping down again. So we'll try it here with the battery version. See, very much the same. You know, you do get the same with a fully charged battery as you do with the USB electronic cigarette. But I just find that this is going to give you a little bit more consistency. So if you're sitting in the office, you know, if you're near a computer or if you're near your dashboard in your car for long trips, you can not kill your battery and use your USB smoke. The one other big thing that I want to touch on in regards to why I choose green smoke over other products is really the responsibility of manufacturing. You know, green smoke's really good on producing a quality product. They've always produced a quality product, and for example, here's the bag that the cartridges came in for me. Now, not gonna lie, I wasn't impressed that it did come in a little Ziploc baggie, but for what I'm getting, you know, you get 5 packs of cartridges. It's a really inexpensive way to be able to put these cartridges together and put them into the same place for me to get. So that I understand. The big one for me is on these packs of cartridges here, you'll notice that on the side, there is you're probably not going to be able to read it, and I apologize because it's a bad webcam. But you get a warning on here. Then the first thing this says is nicotine is highly addictive and use only if above legal age. So right away, you know, even though the warning's not the biggest, they're still pushing that the product needs to be used responsibly. You know, it says right here contains nicotine, a strong 24 milligram nicotine level, and the ingredients: propylene glycol, glycerin, artificial flavoring, and nicotine. So you know what you're smoking. It even shows you a percentage of recycled material that is on, or I'm sorry, in the packaging itself, which is 70%. I like that. It's a green product, so I like to see that it's recycling. And it also gives you a little bit of directions: how to remove the rubber cap, screw onto the battery, store in a cool, dark place, and use within 2 weeks of opening. Very basic, very simple. Keep out of reach of children. That's another big one too. You don't want kids getting their hands on these. So, you know, for the extra money, I've always said that, you know, you could buy cheap once or buy cheap twice, excuse me, and expensive once. So, you know, you can try all the other ones, but when you're ready to actually give it a real try, for all you naysayers, if you still have some concerns in regards to how you're going to be able to quit off of tobacco cigarettes, you can check out the alternatives page on ditchtheashtray.com. It gives you a really good and extensive breakdown on how to be able to order cartomizers and how to plan a plan of attack really on quitting the nicotine, so that first you can focus off of quitting the tobacco cigarettes, then you focus off of quitting the nicotine, and then you focus off of quitting the habit if you choose that you wish to get rid of the habit once you're at 0 milligrams of nicotine. Like I said, you know, as a little disclaimer, that's what's worked for me. I find it worked very well. I've had a couple of friends of mine try it as well, and all of them are now e-smokers because of this great alternative process. So be sure to check it out on ditchtheashtray.com. There's going to be a link down there at the bottom where you'll be able to check it out, obviously. And, you know, be sure to try it before you knock it, because at 50 bucks, you know, that's less than a carton of smokes, and this pack right here is equivalent to a carton of cigarettes. So alone right here, you're saving the money. And then you get yourself a USB electronic cigarette as well. So you know what? Before you knock it, try it, because I am now over 4 months tobacco free because of green smoke and ditchtheashtray.com. This is Ian from ditchtheashtray.com. Thanks for tuning in, guys.